Chaos begins on Monday. I'm your host, Steve Van Metre, and thanks for joining me today. In our show today, this unprecedented market event will send stocks crashing. And that's why every Sunday we like to look at the technicals, momentum, and in particular the machine position that's driving the market to help you successfully navigate market-moving events before they happen. Plus, we have a sponsor for today's show. Spectre Holdings is back. You can find them on the NASDAQ under the symbol SPEC, and they've got some major news. They believe they're one of the first companies in history to do this. And wait till you see their chart set up. We're seeing a beautiful bottom in a supply zone that could send their stock moving up as much is 45%. Stay tuned to the end of the show or check out the pinned comment or description for more information. And now let's head over to Goldman, where we picked today's story up with the headline, as Goldman's tactical flow of funds for December, they're asking, are we there yet? And yes, we have less than 5 trading sessions left of peak flow of funds demand for 2023. And this is what's coming next Monday is the end of this peak flow. Now, it doesn't mean flows completely dry up, but what you're about to see is a big driver of the equity market is going to go dark. On top of that, wait till you see how the machines are positioned, because they're not far off from their extremes either. Let's dig a little deeper here, because here we can look at U.S. equities. This here is the CTA positioning. You can see an extreme position. They're way up here and the 70 billion mark, and currently they're around 35 billion. And what that tells us is there's some more upside for the machine. So as we look at what's coming this week, we can expect some very heavy flows. My expectation is that the markets are going to continue to drive higher. And when we look at the trigger points of where these machines are at, you can make the case why they're going to push more money into the market, drive things higher, and potentially send things right back near their all-time high, which would further drive more money into the market. And here we can see when we take a look at CTA positioning versus the S&P 500, what we can know is the S&P 500, that is in red, the machines in blue, and they play chase. Again, this is something very important to understand. The machines rarely lead the market. Remember, they are trend, keyword here, followers. So wherever the trend is going, they're going to chase it. Now, one of the problems is they become a leader at some point because they move so much money. And that's why the machine positioning matters to every trader and investor out there, because here's what we can make the case. The market's been up. Machines need to chase this higher and are likely going to do that, because look at this. Global equities over the week, this from Goldman, 40 billion to buy in a flat tape. And if you don't know what a flat tape is, that means stocks just go nowhere. They go sideways. They're still net buyers. 49 billion to buy in a big up tape. So you see, and even 11 billion to buy in a down tape. This is going to be supportive, as they're saying, over the next few trading sessions, in particular because this next week should be the biggest final flows of the year. And so you start thinking about those flows getting turned off, the machines getting near extreme positions again. Of course, we know then that's when momentum can turn quickly to the downside. And sure enough, Goldman notes that for global equities over the month, 44 billion to buy in a flat tape. So what we're seeing here is that over this next week is you have the biggest push, 89 billion in a big up tape. But look at this, 163 billion for sale in a down big tape. So demand is front loaded into the week. And that's exactly how you want to be positioning yourself, is say, wait a minute, you know, if I've got some profits I might be thinking about taking, you might want to hold off till the end of the week. Or even if you think the market can still rally here, kind of what we like to tell people is tighten up your stop losses, raise those levels up, put on a trailing stop, do something to protect your gains. Key levels are watching in the short term, 43.96 on the S&P, 43.72 over the medium term, longer term, 43.57, and that levels will continue to move as the machines buy. But here's what's big is coming, the peak corporate blackout. We have 5 billion demand plus per day, and that's going to decline here into the blackout window on December 8th. So you see the next Monday is what we're concerned about, is 95% of the S&P is currently in the open open window, and they've got to conclude if they're buying their stock back before the end of the year and they want to get it done. This is the final week to put a bunch of those heavy buys in, because once they hit blackout, well, they can't buy as much as they were used to doing. That is a big factor, because this is the third best year for authorizations on record, and November saw a big uptick in executions. And you think about this, why would companies be so eager to get as much stock purchase as they can, particularly this next week? And if they could, and they can't into the end of the year, because we're going to start to get a picture of earnings. And what does that mean? Well, we're going to find out that perhaps the holiday season, as we already know, isn't as robust as we thought. That could mean authorizations for 2024 could go down. That would be a major impact in the market. Now, this flow will decline by approximately 35% during the close window after the best 2-month period of the year. So this was your opportunity. But somebody who might be a net buyer of mutual funds, they could bring out additional supply, as 687 active mutual funds represent $1.5 trillion in assets, report their year end at the end of December. And you might think, well, wait a minute, who cares about all these mutual funds? Well, I'll tell you what happens. A lot of them have been trailing the market. It's not surprising when you get these big moves higher. And so what happens is investors are going to look at the year-end statements and look at what these mutual funds own. And guess what they want to buy? They want to hold positions in all the things investors are seeing going up. And that way, when they go see their financial advisor, their advisor is going to say, well, look, see, the fund you're in, it owns all the things that are going up. This is all about window dressing. So look for mutual funds to deploy cash into some of these big mega cap tech companies. That could also be a further catalyst here, even as a corporate blackout window dies down. But let's take a look at what's going on with the machines here now. Let's continue to move over to TD Securities. Over 45.93 to buy. Well, guess what? Friday's close 45.94, telling us that TD is going to be taking some positions to the upside there. Let's take a look at our screens here, because we've got our machine positioning down here. This is our CTA Timer Pro. We told you, again, we give you the signals. Notice it says 100% long. That's on the fast and the slow side. We give you where the machines are going before they get there. Now, today is my birthday. It's December 3rd. That means 3 coupon codes for both Momentum Timer Pro and CTA Timer Pro for a free month in the description below. But remember, you got to beat other people to it. I get emails all the time. Steve, the coupon code, it doesn't work. The box is gone. It's because everyone beat you to it. So, all right, jump on that. And if you want to know what I'm up to, check out my Facebook page, see what birthday things I do today. But let's take a look at our screens. Momentum is positive. RSI is at 74. MACD's got a positive cross. Momentum Timer Pro, this takes a look at all those technical signals, smooths them all out. 21 consecutive daily buy signals. Now, remember, we did get stopped out of this trade, but we came back in, and we have a buy it open on November 3rd. That trade's up 6%. We're raising the stop loss level up because we want to hold on some of that gain. Of course, Friday's upside, next upside target, 470. Downside at the 100-day moving average. But notably, we got everything we wanted. Our machine positioning validated it, and our tactical report validated all of this. Let's take a look and see where this market could go. We have a target 470 on the SPY. That's taking us all the way back near all-time highs. If there's a chance this happens, look for this move this week. Remember, we came into the supply zone. Notably, we had selling, selling, selling. Unless sellers emerge here, what we're going to find out is you've got a big upside move in the S&P coming here all the way to take this to near all-time highs. How about the tech stocks? Momentum's positive. We have the RSI's at 68. MACD's got a positive cross. Again, our own Momentum Timer Pro nailed this move to the upside. 21 consecutive daily buy signals. And again, you could be one of those lucky 3, get a free month, and maybe put in some trades that'll pay for your whole year. Now, we've got to buy it open. I show you every week just how easy it is to use our reports. And keep in mind, I tell you exactly how to use the signals. We show you when they occur, and then I update you once a week with what we're doing with them. And sure enough, what did we note here? We had to buy it open back on October 9th. That trade's up 7.6%. Friday's close, 389. Bumping our stop loss level up to hold on to some of those gains. Upside target, 400 on QQQ. And again, look, our machine positioning told you where the machines were going before they got there. That's how important this is. All right, let's take a look. QQQ on the chart, target, upside target 400. Yeah, I think that is not a problem to reach. We zoom out, and yes, you're looking now at touching all-time highs. You want to talk about getting investors excited that there's a potential big breakout and a big new bull market coming. You get up near all-time highs, and guess what? Investors buy the most. If you're thinking at the top, well, you got it right. They buy the most at the top, my friends, and that's what we're about to see. But something, if you're looking for a bottom fishing opportunity, how about the bond market? As global fixed income CTAs are short 178 billion, and this is where you want to buy. When the machines are short and you see price moving, that's where you want to be a buyer. That's where the upside is going to be big. And Goldman Miles, 25 billion of bonds to buy over the next week in a flat tape, 69 billion in an up tape, and 19 billion to sell on a down tape. Over the next week, or this is meant to be month, is 76 billion of bonds to buy over, of course, the next 1 week or 1 month. Flat tape, 368 billion to buy in an up tape, 6 billion to sell in a down tape. So once we get past this next week, the skew for the bond market, big time to the upside, huge. And they're not the only ones buying. Look at this, TD Securities, over 110.36 on the 10-year to buy. Friday's close, 110.45. There's your catalyst. How about Nomura? Friday's close, again, 110.45. They're buying at 110.74. So you're seeing the machines now, as we've been telling you, are going to chase each other to the upside. And this is how easy it is, my friends. Look at our CTA program, 100% long. It told you all these machines are short. We're telling you on a historical basis, because we don't just look at the machine positioning. We run a historical overlay and then tell you when they're offline and they need to adjust. We predicted this. We're telling you where the machines are going. That is the gold of our report. Check that out. Check out Momentum Time Pro. Be one of the three. How about this? RSI 64. Some momentum continuing to build in bonds. MACD's positive cross. 22 consecutive daily buy signals. Now we had a buy and open. So we started this on March 20th. We didn't put a stop loss on it. And so we showed you if you go the wrong direction, use the reports to dollar cost average in. We're currently only down 3.3%. Many of you say, we'll never get out of this trade ever. And again, well, watch and see. The machines are about to take this thing big time the other direction. Friday's close at 93. That hit our upside target at the 100-day moving average. Now we've moved that next one up to 95. Let's take a look at TLT and see we're making the case here. Again, notice the volume profile way above here. This is going to be a magnet shooting prices higher. But look at the 6-month. Where do you have? There it is. Oh, that's tips. Let's take a look. TLT, here, let's zoom back out. That was pretty close. But you notice the same thing. That volume profile is going to act like a magnet. That's where all the sellers are at. But you want to see something cool? Look at this 6-month volume profile. Or last 6 months, the buyers are underneath the current price. That's telling you momentum moving to the upside. Breakout here, sending you up to around 95 is our next target. And looking at that should have put us right back in the black, pretty close. Across basis here, 96.18 on the trade. So we're moving in the right direction here pretty quickly. How about on gold? We see a very rare breakout over a quadruple top. How about this? Machines? Well, they're going to be buying above 2,042. Friday's close on gold is 2,073. Telling us TD Securities, they're going to be buyers. So are a lot of other algorithmic programs. How about this? Momentum remains positive. RSI still at 73, positive cross on that MACD. 11 consecutive daily buy signals. When we use our reports, again, I show you how easy it is to do. Buy it open on November 17th. That trade's up 4.38%, raising our stop loss level. Next upside target on GLD, all-time highs. And look, we're telling you where the machines are going. We sold you to be long before they were. That is the secret to our reports. Because of our historical overlay, we tell you where they're going to be before they get there. Now zoom out over the next 5 years, back 5 years. All-time high in target 194.45. What happens after that? Well, we could get a massive breakout in gold. Many of you called it. I said it wasn't going to happen. Well, you might be right on this one. We'll find out. How about gold miners? Well, if you want to know what is lagging the metal, that is the miner. And usually the miners follow the metals higher. Saying that there's a lot of upside here. And this should say buy signals. This is 9 consecutive daily buy signals on our Momentum Timer Pro. Again, showing you how easy it is to use our reports. And they're not flawless. yes, we don't nail every single one, but look at how easy it is. You get more than a 50% hit rate using these reports. That means you're one of the most successful traders out there. Let's take a deeper look here. On November 17th, we put a buy it open. Why is that? Because our machine positioning model flipped and showed buying, and we got a confirmation on Momentum Timer Pro. That trade now up 10.9%. We're bumping our stop loss so we can hold on to some of that gain. Next upside target, which we hit, the 200-day moving average. Next one, 32.88. Again, it's so easy to use these reports. Yes, you got to jump on them, get on that free month, make some money, and then become a subscriber. That's just how simple it is. Our target, 32.88. That's that little purple line right here. This is a nice bomb. There's your left shoulder, your head, your right shoulder. You've got your neckline right at the volume profile line at the 2-year mark, telling you the buyers are winning here. The next move again right up here, 32.88, potentially all the way up. Could imagine if this gets up to 36, that will be a monster of a trade, and just so simple using our reports. How about the dollar? Momentum here negative. RSI is down in that oversold territory. MACD's got a negative cross. We have 15 consecutive daily sell signals. Now, we told you no position because we're going to use the reports to trade the opposite, to trade the downside. How do we do that? Using UDN. Now, this is a dollar short, a dollar bearish ETF, and notably here we've said wait till our machine positioning flips from 100% long down, and then it did. And then we said wait till Momentum Timer Pro flips a -1 on UUP. It did. But notably, if you were trading UDN on Momentum Timer Pro alone 41 days ago, you would have been in. But nevertheless, this trades up 2.2%. This on a dollar short position. Again, we show you just how easy this is, and where do we think the dollar is headed? Well, I can tell you it's likely all the way down to this 200-day moving average. That is where you're looking for support, because when you get across of a major moving average, you want to see it come down and tag it. If it holds there and rallies, it's a bullish signal. If it breaks down below, and what could be the catalyst of that break down below? Well, we got a Fed meeting coming up in a couple of weeks. If Powell acts even slightly dovish, remember the market thinks the Fed controls the dollar. We know they don't, but that will give us all the catalysts to see the dollar go down even more and put some more green on that trade. Let's talk about platinum buying above 967. This as of TD Securities. Friday's close 941. No boost from the machines just yet, but momentum is positive. This is another trade that we put on, didn't put a stop loss on, and currently, you guys, I know if someone comes like, you'll never get out, boy, man, you thought your bond trade was bad, your reports on this platinum are terrible, and we told you, look, not every signal is going to be right, and that's okay. And if you don't use stop losses, and you should, use the reports to dollar cost average in, and look what has changed here. This trade's now up 0.96%. I'll say, hey, that's not that much. Wait till you show you where it's going. We hit our upside target at 85.51. We're now looking at 88.46. And then if the machines jump in on top of that, boy, this thing could go a whole lot higher. 88.46. Let's take a look at platinum. Here we can see there's that upside right there. And there's your sellers are at 90.62. That means we got to break through that 200-day moving average, get up to that supply, the volume profile line. Again, you look at a bottom here, you stretch this thing out, look over the last 10 years. When platinum starts to break above this dotted purple line, you minimally get to that volume profile line. Oftentimes you get up here into the mid 90s. Talk about a huge trade, and it's all about just hanging tight with your signals. You know, there's no report that's going to give you perfect signals on anything, but what I want you to see is ours do way better than most and a fraction of the price. All right, let's take a look at palladium buying above 1132. Friday's close at 1010. But here's the problem: we got stopped out on this. Took a 6.9% loss. That's okay. You know, yet some of them are going to be losers. But if you look at all of our other trades, we made good. We're up big enough. It's okay. We're going to be looking at this one again. And the reason on this one, you know, you look at trades like palladium and you don't want to overcommit. If you're bottom fishing like this one, where this thing has been down, let's zoom out. I mean, if you're coming down on this train, you don't want to go crazy on a signal and buy in. You want to just stick your toe in and give a shot. And if it rallies, then you can build into it. So if we see this pullback here, we got stopped out, but this could be a potential. If we see a reversal here, we're going to watch our report. and see if CTA flips back up and we get a confirm on the Momentum Timer Pro. Notably, you see 3 daily sell signals. We're now on the short side of palladium on a historic basis. That gives us the catalyst to make a potential return position into this trade, and that's exactly how you do it, my friends. Now, something else that I think has a lot of upside potential, that is the stock of Spectre Holdings, our sponsor for today's show. Again, you can find them on the NASDAQ under symbol SPEC. Check out the pinned comment description below. Let's take a look at what's going on with them and why I think their stock could go up as much as 45%. And here they've got their product AirCore that transforms your perspective with real-time emissions data. And what they've done is they have announced a sale of $750,000 in carbon offset credits. And here's what we can see. These credits were brokered by Sankofa, and this transaction marks a significant milestone in the carbon offset marketplace, as management believes these credits will be some of the first credits sold on the measurement of actual emissions in the field. Here we can see as demand for carbon credits increase, the historical land use based supply does not offer the same level of traceability and specificity as those measured through AirCore. The world needs carbon credits that are accurately measured to achieve the net zero targets confidently. This coming from the CEO of Spectre. Sankofa continues to be an excellent partner, finding environmentally progressive companies who are taking affirmative actions to reduce their scope 1 and 2 emissions and complementing those efforts through investments in carbon credits. Now, let's take a look at their stock. Again, we featured them on the show before. This is an unprecedented opportunity. Again, on the NASDAQ under the symbol SPEC. Here you can see some beautiful bottom here. It came down in the supply zone where price came down before. Buyers came in this just over around the $1.50 level. When it gets into this point, they were buyers. And look what, that shot up. It doubled in price from there. Here we can see, and we're not making a case that's going to do that. Our first case is it just gets up to the volume profile line at $2.53. If it does that, there's your 45% move. As we zoom in, you get a clearer picture. Every time it gets into the supply zone, this is where the buyers are at. So what we want to do is find out if there is indeed support here. And as we move to the 10-day chart, there you can see buyers there, boom, very clearly, right about $1.75 per share. This is what they're paying, $1.50 to $1.75. They're putting support underneath here. And you get a breakout of this. There's your 45% move to the upside, my friends, due to Spectre. Check them out on the NASDAQ under symbol SPEC. But with all companies we feature on the show, you're under no obligation to purchase their stock. Be sure to do your own research before placing any trades. And with that, I'm Steve Van Metre. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being fans. Bye now.